What if I told you that every atom in your body was forged inside a dying star? And that the solar system you live in is so vast, a beam of light takes more than a day to cross it. We tend to think of the solar system as familiar. We have seen the diagrams, we know the order of the planets by heart, and yet, almost everything about this place defies ordinary comprehension. Tonight, we venture into our own cosmic neighborhood, not as passive observers, but as creatures awakening, perhaps for the first time, to the sheer strangeness of the world we call home. These are 10 facts about our solar system. Each one is entirely, verifiably true, and each one, I promise you, will change the way you see the sky above you. Stay with us until Fact 10. It concerns you personally. Fact 1. The sun is almost incomprehensibly large. Consider our sun. We see it every morning, a warm disk hanging in the sky, seemingly modest in its ambitions. But appearances are deceiving. 1,300,000 Earths could fit inside the sun. If the sun were a hollow sphere, you could pour every planet in the solar system inside it and still have room for hundreds of thousands more Earths. The sun accounts for 99.86% of all the mass in the entire solar system. Everything else, every moon, every asteroid, every comet, every planet is, by comparison, almost nothing at all. And yet, by the standards of the universe, our sun is entirely unremarkable. A middling yellow dwarf star. There are stars out there so large that if placed where the sun sits, their surface would extend beyond the orbit of Jupiter. But size alone is not the most extraordinary thing about our star. That distinction belongs to something far stranger, something to do with the nature of light itself. Fact 2. The light hitting your face is 100,000 years old. Light travels at approximately 300,000 kilometers per second, the fastest anything in the universe can move. And yet, even at that astonishing speed, light from the sun takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach the Earth. This means that when you look at the sun, please never directly. You are seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. The sun you observe is always in the past. But here's the detail that should truly give you pause. That light, which left the surface of the sun 8 minutes ago, was actually generated deep in the sun's core. And it took somewhere between 100,000 and 1 million years to fight its way through the dense plasma of the solar interior before it ever reached the surface and began its brief sprint to your eyes. The warmth you feel on your face on a summer afternoon was born before Homo sapiens existed as a species. We move now from our star to the largest planet it governs, and to a storm that has been raging there since before any living human being ever drew breath. Fact 3. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a storm older than recorded weather. Jupiter is a world of superlatives, 11 times the diameter of Earth, more than twice the mass of all other planets combined. And on its surface, if you can call it that, a storm. The Great Red Spot is an anticyclonic storm system that has been observed continuously since the 1600s and may have existed for far longer. It is currently roughly 1 1/3 times the width of Earth, and that is actually shrinking. Astronomers in the 19th century measured it at more than twice today's size. Wind speeds within the storm reach up to 500 kilometers per hour. The storm rotates anti-clockwise, completing one full rotation every 6 Earth days. It has outlasted every civilization that has ever observed it. We do not fully understand why it persists, or why, after all these centuries, it seems at last to be slowly fading. But if Jupiter holds the record for the most dramatic weather in the solar system, the most bewildering calendar belongs to a world far closer to home, one you can sometimes see with the naked eye. Fact 4. On Venus, a day is longer than a year. Venus is our nearest planetary neighbor. In many respects, it is Earth's twin, nearly identical in size, mass, and composition, and yet it is, by any reasonable measure, a hellscape. Its surface temperature reaches 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead, maintained by a catastrophic greenhouse effect driven by a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide. Its atmospheric pressure at the surface is equivalent to being nearly a kilometer beneath Earth's ocean. But the truly disorienting fact is this: Venus rotates so slowly and in the opposite direction to most planets that a single Venusian day lasts 243 Earth days. A Venusian year, however, the time it takes to orbit the Sun, is only 225 Earth days. On Venus, the day is longer than the year, and the Sun, if you could survive long enough to see it through those acidic clouds, rises in the west and sets in the east. If Venus distorts our sense of time, our next subject will do something equally unsettling to our sense of space. Fact 5. Saturn's rings are extraordinarily thin. Saturn's rings are among the most beautiful structures in the known solar system. Stretching up to 282,000 kilometers from edge to edge, roughly 70% of the distance from Earth to the Moon, they appear from a distance like a solid gleaming disk. But look at them edge on, and something remarkable is revealed. Those vast rings, spanning distances we struggle to comprehend, are on average only about 10 meters thick. In some regions, they may be as thin as 5 meters. To put that in proportion, if Saturn's rings were scaled down to the size of a piece of A4 paper in terms of their width, that paper would need to be more than 1,000 times thinner than a human hair to represent their depth. They are not solid. They are made of billions of individual pieces of ice and rock, ranging from grains of sand to boulders the size of houses. And they are, geologically speaking, young, almost certainly less than 400 million years old, formed long after life had already appeared on Earth. Between Saturn and Jupiter lies a region that popular imagination has made rather more dramatic than reality deserves. And the truth is, if anything, even stranger. Fact 6. The asteroid belt is almost entirely empty. If you have watched a science fiction film, you may have formed a particular mental image of the asteroid belt, a chaotic, claustrophobic field of tumbling rocks through which spacecraft must weave at desperate speed to survive. The reality is almost comically different. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter contains millions of objects, but it also contains an enormous amount of nothing. The average distance between asteroids is roughly 970,000 kilometers. Every spacecraft we have ever sent through the asteroid belt, and there have been many, has passed through it without incident because the objects are simply so far apart. If you were somehow placed at random inside the asteroid belt, the statistical likelihood is that you would see nothing at all in any direction, just empty space. And if you were to gather every asteroid in the belt together into one body, the result would be an object smaller than our own moon. We journey now to Mars, and to a mountain so large it breaks the very rules we use to define such things. Fact 7. Olympus Mons is so large it cannot be seen from its own base. On Mars, there is a volcano called Olympus Mons. It is the largest known volcano in the entire solar system and one of the tallest mountains on any world we have yet explored. It stands approximately 21.9 kilometers above the Martian surface, nearly 2.5 times the height of Mount Everest above sea level. Its base spans roughly 600 kilometers, an area roughly the size of France. But its most peculiar property is this. If you were standing at the base of Olympus Mons, you could not see its peak. The mountain is so immense that it disappears beyond the horizon of the planet. You would be standing on the slopes of the largest volcano in the solar system and have no indication whatsoever that you were doing so. It is not a mountain to be climbed so much as a landscape to be crossed. From the stillness of Martian geology, we travel to the most violent winds in the known solar system, to a world that has never been touched by human hands or any hands at all. Fact 8. Neptune has the fastest winds in the solar system. Neptune is the furthest true planet from the Sun. It receives roughly 900 times less sunlight than Earth does, and yet, despite being so far from any meaningful source of heat, it generates the most ferocious winds anywhere in the solar system. Wind speeds on Neptune have been recorded at over 2,100 kilometers per hour. That is nearly 6 times the speed of the most powerful hurricane ever measured on Earth. The fastest wind gust ever recorded on our planet was 408 kilometers per hour. On Neptune, such a wind would be considered barely a breeze. Scientists believe Neptune generates its own internal heat, likely a remnant of the energy released during its formation. And it is this, rather than sunlight, that drives its extraordinary atmospheric dynamics. It is a world of almost incomprehensible violence, and yet it appears to us from Earth as nothing more than a faint blue point of light, too dim to be seen with the naked eye. And beyond Neptune lies a place so distant and so strange that it challenges our very definition of where the solar system ends. Fact 9. The solar system extends far further than most people realize. We tend to think of the solar system as ending somewhere near Pluto, but that is only where the familiar planets cease. Beyond lies a vast, cold, sparsely populated realm called the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is a theoretical shell of icy bodies surrounding the Sun at distances between 2,000 and perhaps 100,000 astronomical units, where 1 astronomical unit is the distance from Earth to the Sun. At its outer edge, the Oort cloud may extend nearly a quarter of the way to the nearest star. We have never directly observed the Oort cloud. We infer its existence from the long-period comets that fall inward toward the Sun. Visitors from the outer dark, perturbed from their ancient orbits by the gravitational nudge of a passing star. A comet falling from the Oort cloud to the inner solar system travels a distance so vast that even at the speed of our fastest spacecraft, the journey would take tens of thousands of years. The solar system is not a neat diagram. It is an ocean, and we have barely left the shore. And now, fact 10. This is the one I promised you. Because it is not about a distant planet, or an ancient storm, or the darkness at the edge of space. It is about you. Fact 10. You are made of the remnants of dead stars. The atoms that make up your body, the carbon in your cells, the oxygen in your lungs, the iron in your blood, were not created here, in this solar system. They were forged billions of years ago in the nuclear furnaces of stars that lived and died long before our Sun existed. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it explodes in a supernova, scattering the elements it spent millions of years creating across the galaxy. Those elements became part of the vast cloud of gas and dust from which our solar system eventually coalesced 4.6 billion years ago. And in time, some of those atoms became part of you. The nitrogen in your DNA, the calcium in your teeth, the iron circulating in your bloodstream right now, all of it, stellar ash, all of it, stardust given the extraordinary, improbable gift of being able to contemplate its own origins. As the astronomer Carl Sagan once observed, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. 10 facts. 10 windows into a place we have lived in all our lives and barely begun to understand. The solar system is not a backdrop. It is not a diagram in a textbook. It is a living, dynamic, ancient, and astonishing system, and we, fragile and curious as we are, have only just started looking up. There is so much more to discover. And the extraordinary thing, the thing that should keep us all awake at night in the best possible way, is that most of it we have not yet imagined.